Good evening, everybody. Thank you for showing up here. I know I'm running a little bit late, but that's just what happened today, and it happens sometimes. So, thank you, everybody, for showing up. There's no cover charge on here. We just talk about meditation, and then we actually meditate. And so, the only thing I ask is that if you're on here, you just put where you're from, and that's it. You just get a little interactive and do the internet thing. It's not complicated. So we got Mountain Dew on here. I feel like I hadn't seen Mountain Dew in a while, but welcome back. Raphael here from New Haven, Connecticut. Denny from Miami, Florida. Thanks for coming. Nico is here. Nico here from Punta Mita. I think it's on the Pacific Ocean in Mexico. Loving life, looking at the whales jumping. Yeah, it sounds like you're just bragging, man. You don't even know where you are. You're watching whales jump. You're just bragging over there. Rayla's here from Mandeville, Louisiana. Let's see. KMC4 says, talks about me a little bit here. Let's see what, hold on. I saw your message about Cancun on the Facebook group. Sent you a message. Okay. If you send it to me on Facebook, I'll have to, on the Facebook group, I'll check it after this and I'll respond back to you. So if you find my personal Facebook, you can find me there on Instagram or just ask me for my phone number. You can call me. So it's no big deal. Jim Mabry's here and Jane and got Kiki from New York City. Thank you for showing up. Rosario from Miami. Christina from Indiana. All right, so there's about 16 of us on here. There is a poll up there. I got a couple of meditations for the people that are new here. You just vote for which meditation we're going to do. They're all Dr. Joe Dispenza meditations. If you're not familiar with them, it's okay, just pick one. It just gives me an option to leave a poll and let the people pick the meditation. So it's one of those four. I don't care which ones we do, but I will say I kind of seem to put in the ones that I enjoy doing, the 4 out of the 4 there. So, all right, Dana showed up. Thanks for coming, Dana. And so that's what's going on. It's 7:45. We normally get started on the meditation around 8 o'clock, and I normally just sit here and kind of talk for a little while. So if anybody wants to listen to me talk, or if you want to go somewhere else, we'll get started at around 8 o'clock, and I'll give you a link to the Zoom call, and we'll all go over there and do the meditation. And they're typically about an hour long. So last week, and in between last week and this week, is my 2-year anniversary for meditating since my first big meditation experience. Wasn't really sure what I was going to talk about when I come on here. I try to talk about something interesting or something exciting or whatever, and I just kind of drew a blank today, but so I didn't really have anything that prepared, but I did think about, me meditating for 2 years. 2 years ago, I would have probably thought I was crazy for spending 20 minutes with the mask on my face meditating. And here it is 2 years later, and I would say that I meditate most every day, at least for an hour minimum, and I could do anywhere from an hour to all day. But on average, I'm probably doing an hour to 2 a day. Excuse me. And but over 2 years ago, I still, looking back, I would say that I was crazy to think that I was doing that every day. And I was thinking about how in the world and why am I doing this every day for 2 years? I mean, if I take a step back and look at myself, I'm like, man, I lost my freaking mind. What am I doing here? But I have lost my mind. My mind has changed. My brain has adapted. My life has changed. Make a long story short, the volume of all the kind of cruddy, crappy things in my life have been turned down. And the volume of all the nice, pleasant things, the unexpected things I've been looking forward to that I've never experienced before, that volume has been turned up. And the more I meditate, the more that kind of deal happens. And it doesn't always happen when I want it to, but it happens, I guess, when I need it to. And a lot has changed. A lot of crazy, wild, bizarre things have happened. And I was thinking to myself, like, how did I go from, like, not ever really meditating to, like, oh, I'm meditating, like, an hour a day. So when I first started, it just seemed impossible to think that I'm going to go down that road. But I did have such a very big experience with meditation in the beginning, and I've got a video on that. It's called My Meditation Experience. I think maybe some people have seen it on here. And so I had a big meditation experience. It was wild. It was bizarre. It was a big old ride that I haven't had an experience like that since. I've had things that have smelled like it, that have been close to that, but there's been a lot of things that have happened since then. But that first experience was a blast. It was a blast off. It was really bizarre. It was the good, the bad, the ugly, all wrapped up in one, and it was all the intensity level was at 110. And it was a tough thing to go through for me. And so I think because I had that big experience, I can't deny what meditation is capable of and how it affected me. And so I can always refer back to that. But what's kept me going is there's nothing that's kept me going. Or I try to think about what's kept me going. It's the curiosity is the reason why I can sit there with a mask on for an hour. I think that's the main thing that drives me to go, all right, let's go do this. And because I've gotten results, I'm curious, but I stay on the path of being curious of what I can become and who I can become and the things that are possible that I thought were impossible before. And so for me, for people that are struggling with, how do you stay in this? How do you do this? And maybe you haven't had a big experience to maybe make you curious, but I think there's a lot of testimonials out there. There's a lot of people with other experiences. You just have to trust in them that there's something going on. If you stick with it, you're going to start to see things that you go, oh, I definitely have to stick with this. And then your curiosity is going to grow. And for me, I think that's the biggest thing. You get curious enough to where it's no big deal to put on a mask and sit there for an hour. It sounds like a lot of time to give up to do it, but it's not if you knew what you could get out of it and what you could and who you could become and what you're capable of, who you could become and what you could be possibly capable of through meditating. There's been so many changes, and I've met so many people that have had so many changes, drastic life-saving changes, and just crazy, bizarre things that have happened to them, and just the impossible become possible. So for me, the main thing on this whole thing, why I can do it for an hour a day, is because I stay curious. And if you can find a way to stay curious yourself, I think it's going to be easy to show up every day. And then it's just a snowball effect. You're going to start to see results over time. And it just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. And then, just like I think everybody probably knows people that go to the gym. There's people that don't go a day without going to the gym. They might even be sick and they go, no, I'm going to the gym. Well, that's kind of where I think I'm at with meditation. It's a complete 180 from where I was 2 years ago. I don't even know why I got into meditation, or I thought this was going to be something for me. It just kind of called me, and I just said, screw it, it sounds crazy. Let's just see what happens. That's really probably why I showed up and started doing it, just because to me it kind of sounded crazy. So, but yeah, if you can figure out a way to stay curious, then you can find a way to really snowball and start to see the effects of this meditation if you haven't already. I think most people on here probably have seen results, and it just makes it easier. It's not. I always hear people say, "I need to get back in it. I need to be more disciplined. I need to have you don't have to be disciplined if you're curious enough. I mean, if you try to discipline yourself to show up every day, that just means that you're probably not curious enough. It makes it a lot harder to do it that way. Find a way to get curious, and I think it makes it so much easier to show up. And don't care about what the outcomes are. The outcomes are coming, and you're going to slowly evolve, and you're going to quickly evolve in some ways. And just keep showing up, and you don't know what's going to happen, because over this past 2 years, I wouldn't expect that I would be where I'm at right now. I didn't think I would be that big of a change, and I would continue on seeing changes. So whatever you're thinking is going to change from this meditation today or the meditation tomorrow, I don't think anybody really knows. You just kind of end up experiencing it and going, oh, this is what it is. Okay, why didn't anybody tell me this? And people can tell you, and they can tell you, but until you go there and you experience yourself, you're just never going to know. As I tell people, It's like explaining the Grand Canyon to somebody. You can tell somebody what it is, but until you get there to the Grand Canyon and you go, oh, that's what it is. That's a different thing than somebody explaining it to you. Someone can spend 3 days trying to tell it to you, but you're not going to get it until you actually see it, and then you get it. So Dana says when is the 1 year anniversary of the meditation, this Monday meditation group? That's a good question. Let's see. It's probably getting pretty close. I'm gonna look into it and see when I did the first one, and I will talk about it next week and let you know, Dana. Thank you. I didn't think this thing had a birthday, really. I didn't even know that maybe it's been a year or getting close to a year. It might be. It's probably getting close to a year. So thank you for pointing that out. And we should probably have a birthday cake and balloons and everything. So you do the birthday cake, Dana, and I'll get the balloons. No, but I'll figure that out, and we'll see if we can do that next week. But yeah. So anyway, I thought I would share that with you. There's a lot of other things I could talk about that have happened within the 2 years, but that's probably the greatest advice I could give to somebody, that's maybe struggling with the meditation. Just get curious. And as long as you can stay curious, this thing's not hard to do every day. All right, so I need to get over to the poll here, and I've got somebody sending me a message from the group, and that's for something else. All right, so give me just a second here. I can't see the poll, so I got to go and figure this out here. No, come on. All right, there we go. Not quite set up the way I want it to be right now. All right. So, all right. So on the poll, we've got Blessings of the Energy 10. That's my personal favorite. We go through all the chakras on that. And then we've got Synchronize Your Energy to Abundance. We have the Generous Present Moment and the Alchemist. We've got a close running right here. Let's see. We've got 19 people that have voted, and there's 18 people on the thing. So if I know some people probably got off, but if you haven't voted, go over there to the poll and vote. And we got a tight race tonight between those 4 meditations. So we got just about 5 minutes, and we're going to get started on the meditation here just shortly. So, yep. Right now we're doing Blessings of the Energy 10. So I'm going to start pulling up a Zoom call and getting people over there. And then by then, we should be ready to decide which meditation we're going to do. So give me just a moment to pull up the Zoom call and get you a link here. Let's see here. All right. Let me give you let me get you back over here. All right. All right, here's a link to the meditation we're going to do. This is a Zoom link, so if you don't have Zoom, you should probably download that. But just click on the link in the comments. If you're watching on Facebook, then you do have to come to the YouTube channel to see the link in the comments. So just come to that, and we're going to go ahead and call it on the... Looks like we're going to do Blessings of the Energy 10. Nothing has really changed since I looked last. So that's what we're going to do here, folks. So if people want to start coming over to the group, I'm going to admit people. All right, people are coming in. All right. We're going to give a few minutes for everybody to get over to the Zoom call, and then we'll get started. All right, I think Denny showed up. We're doing good. All right, so if you're on the YouTube live stream, I've got in the comments below the link to where we're doing the meditation this evening. So you want to come on over because we're going to get started here in just a few minutes. All right, Pam says join us Wednesday, SOTS. I don't know what SOTS is, but Christina was asking if that's a laying down meditation. No, but I think we lay down at the end of it. I think. But you normally stay up through the whole meditation here. All right, let me pull the meditation. I'm going to do the little intro that Dr. Joe does. I think I've got that. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna play the intro to what Dr. Joe talks about on this meditation, and then after that we'll start the meditation here. Let me just set some things up. And during that time, people will still be trying to come in, so I'll be getting them in. All right, here we go. Here's the intro to the meditation.
Greetings, everyone. Dr. Joe here. I wanted to spend a few moments with you before you begin this meditation to help you to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, so the how becomes instrumental. When you assign meaning to any act, you will increase the outcome and produce greater effects. So this meditation is blessings from the heart. It is blessing of the energy centers, number 10. And it is a simple yet healthy and profound way for us to create coherence in each one of the energy centers of your body by starting with the place in the center of your chest, your creative center, your center of oneness, your center of wholeness, where your divinity begins. And by you awakening your heart and creating some elevated emotions and slowing your breath down, our data shows that you can cause your heart to actually beat in a more orderly fashion.